Alright, it's time to get down to some of the nitty-gritty details of talking about circuits and terms and the way and so on and so forth, various components of things in an electrical circuit. And the first thing I want to talk about is in this little chunk, aside from current, which we already discussed, electromotive force. All right, so that's what we're talking about here. You know it better as a battery or a power plant. Um, but basically, what is EMF? Electromotive force, it's abbreviated EMF. It's provided by the electrical power supply. And it's basically defined as the energy that causes current to flow through a complete circuit. So what you got there, this is an electrochemical cell. Inside there's a chemical reaction that produces ions that can move around inside there, and that gives you a plus and a minus. I think those are correct. Side of the what we call battery, this battery here, and that battery can be hooked up into a circuit, and then it will provide the energy source for the current that flows around the circuit. More commonly in your lives, maybe not more commonly, I don't know, maybe you guys use 9 volts all the time, but certainly electrical appliances, they get their power supply from here, ultimately, a power plant someplace that uses ginormous amounts of fuel and heat and pumping, churning steam and turbines and generators all spinning like crazy on a giant scale. And then all of that electricity gets sent through these big wires, extremely high voltage, so high that you have these gigantic insulators just to keep the wires away from the actual tower so that no kind of massive jolts of electricity manage to flow down through this structure. Yeah, anyways, really strong voltage and really strong electrical power. So this would be, in a very large sense, EMF as well. This is an electromotive force, the generator in there, which drives current through these wires and ultimately to your house, where you can use it all happily for your appliances. So that's the idea of electromotive force. It's the energy that drives the current around a complete circuit. What are the, I just said this part, you can see it written there. What are the units? The units are volts. So sometimes EMF is just called voltage, but that's an imprecise term. It's not proper to just say it's the voltage, though you can do that, and a lot of people do that commonly. But if you decide to use that in an answer on a test, for example, it's probably not going to get you the marks for that test. So you need to be proper, and you need to call it EMF, the electromotive force of the power supply or the circuit or whatever. The electromotive force is the source of energy that pushes the current around the circuit. All right, so don't just call it voltage. Anyways, potential difference is also measured in volts, and that is the topic of our next video. But for now, we are done talking about EMF. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.